Alrighty, so this is a velocity curve, and it says that the car is changing velocity from 0 to 60 multiple miles per hour in 10 seconds. And they want to know the distance the car traveled, and so what they are actually on this one they're doing is counting blocks, which is a very rudimentary exercise. But here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 full blocks. I'm going to go with 23.9. Let's see, I'll add a 0.7 here, so 24.6, add a 0.9, so 25.5. I'll add a 0.4, so 25.9. I better start making notes here. I'm going to add a full 1 for that one. So a full 1. How about a 0.5 here? 0.5 here. I know this is really small and very hard to write, but I'm doing my best. A 0.7 here. And you'll see when I get a final estimate, it'll be different probably than what was in the key. I'll put a 0.8 there, and then maybe a 0.3 here. Your estimate's going to be different from mine because it is just that, an estimate. So I have, let's see, 0.9, 1.9, 2.6, 3.4, 3.7, 4.7. I have 29.7. And then since each block, this is a pain, miles per hour versus seconds. So I have, let's see, each block is going to be 20 miles per hour. No, excuse me, 40 to 60, 30 to 40, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60. So 10 miles per hour, and then 1 hour is 3,600 seconds. So didn't mean to cross off the seconds, sorry about that. So hour. And they want to know how far the car travels, and so I'm going to, this is just the height of one block right here. I'm going to multiply that by a 1 second interval for each horizontal block, and now my seconds cancel. So 10 over 3,600 is the same as 1 over 360, and I multiply that by my 29.7. And I can't do 29.7 divided by 360 in my head. Oops, you don't need to see all that. So I'm going to go to my calculator, turn it on, and I'm going to put in 29.7, 29.7 divided by 360, and I get 0.08, which I think the answer key said about 1/12 of a mile. And you could convert that to feet if you want, but also just leave it in miles. Okay, so the next one is another counting blocks exercise, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. Counting blocks is not something that we're going to be asking you to do on any test, nor will you be asked to do it on the AP exam. We'll tell you to use left-hand sum, right-hand sum, trap, or mid. But this one, you know, we could go here counting blocks again, and we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and this one was probably not quite 13, so I'll go with 12.9 so far. Then I'll add in maybe a 0.4, a 0.4, a 0.2, a 0.6, and a 0.2. So that's 0.8, 1, 1.8, and I'm getting 14.7 blocks. And each block looks like it had a height of 1 and a width of 4. So I'm going to do 4 times 14.7, which is going to give me around, if I'm not mistaken, 58.8. Okay, and your estimate might differ from that by a little bit, and that's fine. Okay, let's go on to a real problem now. We have the velocity is given by this on this interval. The distance traveled is going to be the integral from 0 to 1.1 of v of t. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in my calculator. So I'm going to go to my calculator and I'm going to do the integral. So I do alpha window, and I'm going to choose choice 4, which is the integral, and I'm going to go from 0 to 1.1. And then my v of t function is sine of t squared. So sine of, and I better put in x squared because my calculator doesn't love variables other than x. So just make sure you put it in x there to match. And you're going to get an integral of 0.399. Now, to be clear, distance traveled, if my sine curve had crossed the x-axis, I would have had to split my integral and take a look at what was underneath the x-axis versus what was over the x-axis, because distance traveled is not the same thing as displacement. However, in this case, if we look at sine of t squared, sine of x squared, on the graph, let me look at the window. That's a good enough window. What you're going to find is if you look at it just on this interval from 0 to 1.1, that all of the whole velocity curve is above the x-axis. So in this case, distance traveled and displacement will be the same thing.